Champ Coach Basketball, the only tool you'll ever need to reach your basketball coaching potential. Called the Netflix for Coaches by ESPN college basketball analyst Fran Fraschilla, Champ Coach Basketball allows you to deep dive into drills, offensive and defensive systems, and skill development techniques taught by the best coaches in the game. The Champ Coach Basketball Library includes over 700 full-length videos taught by legendary coaches like 5-time NCAA champion Mike Krzyzewski,
taking an all-access look at the Blue Devils,
11-time NCAA women's champion Gino Auriemma.
So one arm holds your guy, and the other one is ready to go get the ball.
5-time NBA champion Greg Popovich.
Okay, now he's coming off the single right here.
And many, many more. Champ Coach Basketball has everything you'll ever need to become a master of the game. Visit our website today to get on the fast track to becoming the best basketball coach you can be.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me okay? Up there in the back, you can hear me? Kind of like being in church. Everybody come on, sit in the back seat. As guys are coming in, obviously my name is Leonard Hamilton, the head basketball coach at Florida State. I'm really happy to be here just to talk a little bit about some of the things that I believe in that's worked for us over a number of years. See, I tell my kids three things. You got to play hard. Whether you know or not, playing hard is a talent. You got to defend, and you have to play unselfish. That has to be embedded in them. Take no possessions off. In order to be a great defensive team, you have to, with us, we have to use a lot of depth. I'll play 11 guys in the first 10 minutes. Now, that's unusual, but we've been doing that for a number of years. We take over a job like Miami that had not been in existence for 13 years, had not been to the NCAA tournament since 1962, and I'm in there with Hall of Famers, Connor Secker, John Thompson, Boeheim, Calhoun. I was not ever going to have the same level of talent that they have. So I wanted to have no bad players. I wanted to have guys who were coachable. So I'll play 11 guys. They'll play their 7 and 8 because they got more talent. You own the last 10 minutes if you take no possessions off. Now I'm going to have a lot of film for you guys to look at so that you can see, you can kind of relate to words that are coming out of my mouth and you can see it actually on the screen. What they say, seeing is believing. I hope you guys can see in that corner. You should teach defense, and this is a very important point. Defense should be taught like you're teaching free throws. Repetition, over and over and over. You know, I think you need to have, we all know what shell drills are. We all have our number of shell drills. I suggest you do your shell drills at least 10 minutes every day or more. But 3 times a week, I think you need to have station drills where you got, hopefully you have 2, if you have at least 3 goals, go 2 on 2, on each goal, have a 12-minute section. Have those diagrams up, do the 2 on 2 station drills, okay. However you want to teach it, but have 2 on 2 stations, have about a 4-minute session at each goal, and teach it over and have a post drill on one end, help you recover on the other end, front the post on the other end, and you have a blast about 6 or 7, 8 possessions of getting to the front, or helping recovering, or switching, whatever fundamentals you want, but you keep teaching it over and over. It only takes about 12 minutes. You go through 3 different fundamentals, full speed, maybe as hard as you can, then you reverse, then you turn it over, you know. Go offense, defense to offense. My point is that the things about defense, they have to be done so consistently that they become habit. For instance, on every catch, we have to close out with our hands up high. That's 1001. That gives the weak side defense time to get on the lane line, the midline, and also when we front the post like we do, you gives your guy an opportunity, if he's getting caught, to get around to the front. And we're gonna have some demonstration on that. Accountability. Put that screen up on how we are. I have 9 things that I grade every day. Every game. And we have never lost a game when we've come 70% efficient. Okay, those are the 9 things I grade. Success, fail, and after each game, we have a big spear. It's an award for the guy who demonstrates the ability to execute those fundamentals in the course of the game. We're gonna grade every one of them. I think this is on your app, on your phone, but this has been a godsend for us. There have been years where we've gone 4 and 5 years, I think I said earlier, that a post guy never gets double-figure points. Tyler Hansberry is the all-time leading scorer in the history of the ACC. It was only 2 games where he didn't score double-figure points. That was against Florida State. I can go on and on. We've had some of their first and second picks in the draft in our league that might touch the ball 5 times during the entire game. But our kids know that we're going to hold them accountable. We're going to use that chart to grade them. They take a lot of pride, and they have to they get the award, they got to give a speech, and we make it interesting for the players. That works for us. I don't ever remember losing a game in 10 years at Miami, 21 years at Florida State. I don't think we've ever lost a game when we are 70% efficient, not 100. And actually, in reality, sometimes we've won games with 65%, only because it's all the little details containing the dribble, not getting beat on the first dribble, challenging the passes. Can I have this one person I have? Hey, coach, you stopped me yesterday, so let's talk. Come on. All right. Let's pretend that he has the ball, and I'm defending him. And he wants to pass the ball to his left. And I just put my hand out like this. We challenge passes. In other words, obviously we're closing out with our hands up. I don't want him to make a chest pass to that person coming off a kick. So I'm just going to have, as he gets ready to pass the ball, I'm just putting my hand here. Illusion, he has to pass the ball a little farther away from my hand. But what he's looking at is a hand on the passing lane, not a body. So he's looking at a hand on the passing lane here. So he has to feel my hand, which throws a little bit further. He sees this hand, so the guy's catching the ball like this. And they're always operating farther from the basket. That's subtle. You don't put yourself in position. The things that I'm asking these guys to do here, it doesn't have anything to do with quickness, doesn't have anything to do with speed, doesn't have anything to do with athleticism. I've had very slow players who understand the cushion. How close can I get without getting beat on the first dribble? What I'm trying to attempt to do is give you some nuts and bolts of how we have been successful, and I'm hoping I can trigger your thought process where whatever your philosophy is, that you can implement the system to teach it so that you can consistently get those results. They know that every possession they're on the floor, they're going to get graded. So what you do, 5 managers, and everyone has a different player. And every possession, you grade. Did he contest the shot? Did he contain the dribble? Did he jump to the ball? Did he shrink the gap? Did he contest the shot, block out? Did he get to the right defensive position? Did he front the post? Did he close out with high hands? Did he challenge the pass? And did he contain the dribble? those 9 things we grade. And that's kind of the Bible. Maybe the verses in the chapter. Don't get me started preaching. Team concepts. Yes, sir. Contested shots is a total separate entity. You gotta leave your feet, you gotta have your hand up on the ball. We don't try to block the shots, we just try to make them have to lean just a little bit. We just wanna distract them. So we're gonna leave our feet. Some guys say that's sinful if you leave your feet. You know, it used to be you close out and say, hey, like to do it YMCA at lunch. Our guys have to leave their feet and jump to the side. See, I'm not worrying about their shot fake me, because nowadays, if you let people shoot uncontested threes, something bad gonna happen. I'd rather you fake me out and somebody else has to come and test again. But I do not want you shooting an uncontested three. So if we grade that, that's important. And sometimes we're gonna have some shots of that. Now what I'm gonna do, make sure I cover all my unselfish stuff here. You spend more time coaching their minds than they do your bodies. If you don't spend time, see, if you just think that they're absorbing, you think they're understanding. So you gotta teach repetition, you gotta hold them accountable, and you gotta be consistent with it on a daily basis. And if you need to have it organized so you know that we've worked on sealing the baseline. Last week, you want to work on it so you you rotate your, so you get all those bats at those situations that kids sometimes forget. See, techniques, for instance, guarding the post. Our rule is if the ball is above the free throw line, my body is on the line between the ball and the post guy. Now, while the ball's in the air, I got to get to the front. I can't wait till he catches it, because he's trying to hook me. The technique is this: if I'm on the line with my body, he can't touch me if I step with my top leg first. But you see so many guys and the ball's in the air, they're turning while this guy's stepping. So now I got him hooked on my top. But if your teammate close out with his hands up 1001, he can't make that pass even though his partner is caught behind, because he got to throw it high or it's got to be a slower bounce pass. Now the guy from the weak side, the lane line, or the mid line got time to get there to distract the pass, if that makes any sense. Any questions about that? If you guys want a question, just raise your hand, because I can get kind of wordy. That's a technique that you have to be consistent with, because it is a knife fight in the post. Now, and I have to give in, that's one thing I give in on. Use your techniques if you want to, but I need you in the front. And I need you to get there quickly. Sometimes it gets to be a wrestling match. Get to the front, I don't hear no excuses. Sometimes you got to go on them, sometimes you got to spin, sometimes you got to roll, because sometimes those guys step up and make contact with you. But if you don't give them those reps on a daily basis and make it a habit, so immediately when he see that ball in there, he's stepping this way, and then he gets to the front. That's not easy when Bill Self, who was my assistant, he likes to play topside. Been very successful, Hall of Fame guy. Dennis Gates, my young guy, he's kind of similar to what we do. And the infield from Southern Cal, he like to play behind. So everybody, you got to be who you are and do what you believe. I just think keeping the ball out of the post. Another thing, we pick 94 feet. Now, most guys in our league, go back to the beginning. even though it's not great. Go back to, there you go. Transition defense. Now, we have a wolf that every made basket, he has to be on the ball. Now, you'll see in the film, we really don't necessarily, sometimes we will double that guy and not with the man who's sometime on the ball. The bandit, we got that mixed up, I believe. The bandit should be on the ball. No, I'm sorry. The wolf is the guy guarding the ball out of bounds. Our bandit is back there. His job is to pick the guy up and make him work the whole court. What we don't want, when the ball is shot, we have a designated safety guy. He has to sprint to the front of that rim. The post guy job is to sprint and release him to the ball side. So that way, not only do we have an offensive break, we have a defensive break. Now that's when a basket is made. Now it's more challenging when you miss a shot, but we are trying our best to use the same concept. The ultimate goal is to make them take 6, 7, 8 seconds to bring the ball down the court, but it also gives me a chance to get my hand on the line once the ball gets across half court. Now, most offenses start with a pass to the wing or a pass to the elbow. We don't want you to catch it on the wing unless it's out of scoring range and passing range. We want the very few teams that would just totally chest front the elbow. We do not want the ball coming to the elbow. For instance, we play in Louisville, they got 7 plays they run if the ball goes to the elbow on the left side. They got 7 more plays if the ball goes to the right side. So if we don't let them catch the ball in those areas, then that's 14 plays that they don't get a chance to run that they've been practicing every day. We want pressure on the ball so it's easy for the guy to have a hand on the passing lane. If he catches the ball, we want him to catch it out of post-feeding range and shooting range. Now, suddenly, when they make 4 passes around here, and now they're down to 12 something on the shot clock, whatever they're doing, it's not what they practice every day. Those percentages, we try to keep people from running what they work on every day in practice. We want to take them away from what they do. All right, let's go ahead and run that a little bit. All right, now, this is okay. Now stop right there. Stop, please. We want this kid to handle the ball. Okay? We're not playing him tough at all. We don't want the other kid to get the ball. So they said, okay, somebody else just bring the ball down the court. But we've done our statistical analysis, and we know when he comes down with the ball, he's getting them in and out of their stuff. So we want their scorers and the other people to handle the ball or people who are not as effective. So come on down the court. So we're not trying to steal it. We're not trying to lose possession. We're just trying to stop right there, stop. Okay, now everybody's in position with their hands on the pass, but he just can't make a direct pass. Go ahead. That's a made basket. That's our man there. We want him to handle it because he's a little reckless. This is in slow motion, slow speed, so stop right there, stop. I would like to have somebody picking this guy up. Most people in the conference we play in, they come back and everybody sprint back and they pick you up at the top of the key. We're different. We want to pick you up as soon as we can. Not because we want to steal anything, we just want to disrupt whatever you're trying to do. Go ahead. Now, run that back again. Run that back. Now, stop right there. The rule is safety guy to get back in the hole. He normally takes the ball to the ball side, takes the pass to the ball side. But in this case, he misread and went to the left side, but everybody else is covered. But you see, he goes out and picks up to the other side. Sometime after a made basket, a missed basket, you're going to have those issues. But as long as you are trying, so if you get 30% of that right, I think you're doing pretty good. Go ahead, Coach. Transition defense is very important to us. So, see, we're picking them up. Stop right there. Stop. Now, we're not running as fast as we should be. The big guy should be getting to the front, getting to the lane. He's loafing. He won't be in there very long. We not overplaying to give up the back door. This is pretty good with the exception of the post guy. Go ahead. Now, this guy's going full speed, but he's out of control. Whenever you get them going full speed, hallelujah. Because that's the pace that you want them to play in under this kind of pressure. Okay, go ahead. Now, run it back. We have our safety guys in the hole, but making them play at this pace, this becomes a different one-hand pass, throwing it long. They get that because they don't work on all. No, we're gonna press them. We're picking them up early. Stop right there. Okay. We're making them play at a pace that is not comfortable for them. Go ahead. Now, run it back. That's really bad on our post guy. He's just loafing. Run it back. Now, his job is to take the side where the ball's coming down and don't let the ball come into the post. He goes strictly. He don't snap his head. Go ahead. And he's playing behind. But he's tall enough. Stop right there, Coach. When the ball goes in the post, we always try to get to the level of the ball. So we crowd with our hands up. So when the posters are trying to find people throwing the ball out of the post, they still got to go through your hands. Go ahead, 94 feet. Sometimes we switch that. Now we're just picking up. We just want them to be uncomfortable and not be able to run their offense. It's after made baskets, it's a lot easier. They're going to set the screen, but we just switch it. Stop right there, please. Stop. Move back a minute. Now, we in position where they just can't pick the ball up and throw it to their man. In this particular game, Coach likes to call a lot of plays. I mean, he has a whole book of them. But we just being disruptive. We just trying to make him play at a pace. We just don't want him to walk down the court, hold the finger up and say, hike. We don't want him looking at the bench saying, what you want me to run, Coach? We want him to feel the pressure of the guy just shadowing him, making him go up down the court just so we can disrupt what they want to run. Now, stop right there. We don't, this is their point guard, so we taking him away. Sometimes we'll have a man on the ball, then we'll double up on the point guard. Sometimes we let the point guard catch it, then we trap. Then sometimes we'll trap him when they get across half court. And then sometimes, like in this situation here, we'll play no catch on him this whole possession and not ever let the ball come back to the point guard. Which means that people who have a point guard system where you have to, they want to give it to their point guard and he be the card dealer. I want their shooters running their offense. But I do not want their point guard. Now, in our offensive system, whoever gets the rebound is my point guard, which is the complete opposite. But when we play against people who want to throw it to the point guard every possession, we say, hallelujah, we love that. Because if we only take him out 40% of the game, if we only take him out 35% of the game, not letting them be comfortable running what they like to do makes a huge difference in the course of a game. Go ahead. This is our man here. See, he one of the best shooters in the conference. So, but he's not accustomed to bringing the ball down the court. That's not his job. His job normally is to get down the wing. Okay. Now, this isn't containing the dribble. Let's hold on a minute. Let's stop here, and let me have 5 of you guys out here. Give me a point, 2 wings, a post guy. You get the point. You got the post. Okay, this is good. High wing. Let's have a 2 guard front. All right, let me have someone. These are managers, guys who want to be coaches. I don't think any of them can play, but they can coach. How that work, I don't know. Come on out here, fellas. Defensive guys. Then we're going to talk about, you got the guy in the corner? Okay. We're just going to talk about why those things up there are so important to us. Half court. On the line. I want him never to cross half court and be able to come all the way down to here and start running this offense. I want him at least, I want it picked up here, and I want not this kind of pressure, cushion pressure, just so that he feels his pressure. I don't want him up here because these guys will blow by you. I want him to see a hand in the passing lane. Now, we will go sometimes a third, and sometimes we'll go half, depending on his skills and his skills. We'll start off always a third in the gap. But what we don't want him to do, get flat. Get flat. Move into a little closer operating for him to back up. To come down the court, look at the coach, get the play, and throw the ball here without any pressure. I don't want him to get beat, but I want him, when he gets ready to throw it, this hand goes up, and I want him to see, so now he has to step out to catch it. This is where most guys are going to be operating from during the course. Now, throw the ball back to the point. Everybody move in a little closer. Okay? Get the ball to the wing. Come on in, move it in a little closer like you're in operating position. Now, he's mirroring the ball. The ball comes back to him. He's in the gap. We got to use a different term. What we use here? We call this a J move. We do not want him running out here like this and giving the lane. Get the ball back. While the ball's in the air, go ahead. He's going this way and closing out. But at the same time, what I want him to see, when he catches the ball, I want him to see this. So that he doesn't have a feeling that he can drive in this gap. Sometimes this is a great shooter, will stunt and stay. We try to help and recover, but depends on the statistical analysis on this shooter. We think that when he comes, if he's a little late getting there, when he sees me in the gap, he hesitates, he gets back in the gap, I get back in the position. Come a little lower. We don't ever help with our chest, because I don't ever want to lose him. So if he's driving, I'm karaoke, getting to this spot. But as soon as I see he back under control, I'm getting back out and closing out correctly with my hands up. Throw it to him. Give me a post guy low. You guarding him. The ball's at the top of the key. Anytime a third down, I need this guy, get the ball to the point. I need the ball, I need his body here. Very seldom will you get beat with lobs. If we get beat with lobs, it's on me. But my body's on this line. Come on up a little closer. He's bigger and stronger than me. So if I get into a wrestling match, he's trying to post me, I'm stepping. If I get in this kind, I'm going to lose the battle. We switch 1 through 5. So I got a 6'5" guy on the 6'10" guy. So as the ball's in the air, he coming to nail me, throw the ball in the air. But when I step this way, while the ball's in the air from here to here, when I step this way, get the ball back to him. when he catches in the wing, I'm here, which gives him a chance to go from ball key back here, him on the lane line, the ball's in the air below the free throw line, he has to get to the midline. If his hands are up and he gets to the front, then throw the ball high, I got a chance to knock this down. But if he closes out with his hands down like this, and he gets caught just a second, get the ball back down. He gets caught just for a second, then he's out of order, he has to come out of the game. So closing out, contesting shots, shrinking the gaps, fronting the post, balls above the free throw line, give to him, above the free throw line, he's on the lane line. If it's close, I want him on the midline. Always never losing sight of his man over here. He's protecting him against a pass to the post. He also protecting him on a skip pass. So we got all those things covered. You guys can go sit down. Just with the correct usage of your hands in terms of taking away the vision. Go ahead and continue with the contain the dribble. Go ahead. Now, everybody can't use the same cushion. Stop right there. Now, they want to run a play. That's why we run an offensive system where we can enter from anywhere. They want to get to certain spots on the floor, and all we're doing in this game is not letting them catch it at the elbow, not letting them catch it at the wing, not letting them feel comfortable. Go ahead. See, now stop right there. Most people let you step out and put your hip on and catch the ball at the elbow like this. That guy can't play in our game if he gonna let the ball come here. I want this guy to be throwing the ball over me. I want him to be throwing a lob, but I don't want the ball caught at the elbow. Go ahead, coach. Go ahead. Not a whole lot of pressure. Got the wolf in good shape. Got the bandit in good shape. We up on the line on the post. We denying the ball there. It's a switch. We're switching on the weak side. Start right there. Sometimes we take away the right hand. Sometimes we take away the left hand. Whatever tendencies that we see, we try to take advantage of it. Some guys, we'll do our statistical analysis, and one guy might, he 52% going right, he 36% going left. Sometimes we'll change our principles to make that guy go to where he's less efficient with. Go ahead. We're in good shape here. Now, I don't like that, but stop, hold it now. That's a 7-footer guarding their point guard, but he understands. Because in his mind, he said, oh God, oof, coach gonna be pissed. He'll cut me about 5 minutes of playing time. But then he gonna get in the stands. See, most people are afraid of a 7-footer guarding their point guard. I'm okay, you know why? The guy got to beat him off the dribble, then he got to finish over him at the rim. But he ain't running with their practice every day. So I'm okay with them being out, scoring 2 or 3 baskets on us. We lost a game by about 4 points to Virginia. Virginia, a couple years ago, that little kid Clark, whatever his name is, I'm glad he's gone. If he's not, somebody need to visit him. Anyway, but he's just hard to handle. He's just so little and so quick and so smart. And games on the line, and one of my big guys got emotional, threw an elbow, got kicked out of the game. So now all of a sudden I got an inexperienced guy there, and the game's on the line, we up. I don't play with my best player, because he had recovering from an ankle. And that little kid came in there in the last 2 minutes, just did that little wiggle thing, threw that thing up on the bucket. I went home with an L. But that's okay. They wasn't running their offense. You know what I mean? They wasn't running that blocker move or whatever the hell they call it, because they had to run something else. We've gotten guys, teams that play against us, they say that we ain't running no offense. They do flat ball screen. I'm okay with that. But the teams are talented enough where they can beat you doing that because they loaded with talent. And to tell you the truth, most kids they'd rather not run all that offense in the first place. But sometimes I feel like I'm making a mistake. But from a coaching standpoint, I want to continue to keep disrupting people. Go ahead, Coach. But start right there. You see where they're operating at? See, they're operating out on the floor, not because we overplaying and getting backdoor. I keep emphasizing our hand is on the passing line, not our bodies. So we don't get backdoor that much because our hands on the passing line. Go ahead. They're just doing something they don't work on every day in practice. And we're not getting out of sorts. Start right there. Run that back. I don't know whether this kid is not a real good shooter, but Trent, he plays for Atlanta. He could have his right inside foot up a little bit more, and he could be stunning a little better than just standing there. He looked like he's tired. When Trent came, he was playing for Utah. He and Terrence playing for the Clippers. And they came home, they came by the school, and I asked Trent, I said, Trent, how did you like the way I subbed you and utilized you? And he said, I liked it, Coach. You normally, about the 4-minute mark for a TV timeout, you normally gave me a break. And he said, whoever you put in the game for me, if he was playing pretty good, you give me an extra minute. So sometimes I could get like a 3 or 4 minute rest after the first 4 minutes of the game, and I was normally okay. He said, with the exception of the North Carolina game. I said, okay. He said, you didn't sub me very much. Well, I go back now and I watch the Carolina game just to see what he's talking about. So timeout, halftime, we had a 9-0 run. Trent's on this side of the court, so he's walking between two of his teammates. When he gets to the free throw line, he falls to his knees between two teammates. So they pick him up and kind of escort him to the locker room. When I'm in the locker room, I'm excited. I'm in there, blah, 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 running out with the mouth. I don't know Trent's not in the locker room. Trent was in the training room getting the IV because I played him 18 minutes. The first half, he was exhausted. That's why he said with the exception of that game. So I asked him, I said, Trent, he's the all-time winningest player in the history of Florida State. So I asked him, how many minutes could you have played the way we play? Been satisfied, felt that how many minutes you think he said? 12. I'm talking about the whole game, not a half. He said 24. Here's a guy who's the winningest player in the history of our program. Now, on the offensive end, we try to score in the first 6 seconds. If we can't score in the first 6 seconds of a shot clock, we make 230 passes a game. When we come in the locker room at halftime and we made 115 passes, we're never behind. Ball movement and player movement. Ball movement and player movement. I don't like kids taking 19 dribbles before they get a shot. Everybody touches the ball. Everybody has freedom. We might set 3 ball screens in a possession. So we getting after it. We moving the ball. So if you're defending us, you can't just stand there in the corner. See, we passing and cutting and moving. Everybody getting a touch. I have an 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I want you to run whatever we running. 20% of the time, you got freedom to go make a play. Don't look at me. If you make a mistake, it's on me. My point to you, we're getting after it on the offensive end, and then we playing 94 feet on the defensive end. That's why I had to play 10, 11 people. So they don't have to be great players, you just got to have good players that are willing to execute all these fundamentals. Like those 9 things I grade, doesn't have anything to do with speed now, quickness or athleticism. Those of you might have smaller guys, might not have really, if they just go out and do these fundamental things on a consistent basis, and if you watch that, you don't see anything got anything to do with athleticism, quickness, and speed. Go ahead and run it. That's simple. The guy just not accustomed. He's just not accustomed to being in that position. Stop, run it back. You see what he did in the corner? Go back, coach. Just a couple possessions. See how Turk stunned it? He stunned it just to give him a little bit of a, you can't come in this gap because I'm here protecting my guy. But he's also back denying the ball. See that hand? Stop right there. I'm good with that. We didn't deny the ball, but he catching it away from the basket. Hold on, did we challenge the pass? Run it back. Yeah, watch Trent's right hand. This his hand being out there gives the illusion I got to throw the ball a little farther. And so if they're making 4 passes this far from the basket, and then you look at the shot clock, where are we? How much we got? Down to 20? Okay. All right, go ahead. Stop back, run that back. You see the switch that we made? Go ahead, back to the switch, coach. Now stop right there. What we do is this. High stays high and low stays low. Some people switch that, we switching it. We should come together a little better than what they did. So when he made that back cut, we just talking and communicating, and we switching on the back on the exchange. Switching 1 through 5. Now, run it back. We got now a 6'4" guy guarding a 7-footer. But watch how high he has to, with his hand going up, mirroring the ball, he has to put air under the ball, which gives us time to get there to accommodate him. Just challenging the pass. Just challenging the pass. Not out of position, just using your hands and your length. Run that back. See, the illusion of that right hand going up makes them throw the ball just a little farther than they need to. I'm a big proponent of this. I'm not trying to steal it. I'm just trying, I love deflections now, because you got to be safe. You can't be all out there overplaying with your body in your chest. I'm hoping this makes any sense. Anybody got any questions? Anybody? Yes, sir. Depends on both. If the guy on the wing is not a great shooter, we might be half. If the guy on the wing is a really good shooter and the guy is not a great driver, then we're probably a third. We mix that up depends on talent. But the bottom line is I don't know how much difference it makes. They think it's good strategy. But the key is you got to be in a position to help on the drive. When I was at Austin P years ago, we had a drill where we convinced the kids that you could be on the midline and on a skip, get there quick enough to be sitting right there when he catches the ball if you're on your horse. But you couldn't wait. When the ball, it leaves his hand, you got to be on the horse getting back. And most of the time, regardless of where the offensive player is, if you move on the ball, more than likely you're going to be able to get there. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So you're saying that you could do this with good players that aren't to be greater?
No.
What if your players aren't the quickest, longest athletic players
Now, we do have long athletic guys, no doubt about that. But the point of it is, if you move on the ball, you still there on the catch, and you, instead of maybe taking away thirds, you might take 25% of it away, but you're not letting them run what they want to run in practice. And you're making them catch the ball out of their operating area far enough. I don't care if I ain't quick enough with my hand on that passing lane, you got to step out a little further to get it. Now, if my body's on the pass lane, you're giving up back doors and dunks. But then again, one other thing I haven't covered, and I'm sure you guys have seen some of this, one of the reasons why we front the post, that say this is the wing, if the guy gets beat on the baseline, we have two ways to seal the baseline. If he's up high, the wing will have to rotate over and everybody else seal. But we have more success with me fronting the post, this guy getting the edge, me going off, saying, can't come down to here. Then people be saying, you gonna leave your center? God, you gonna leave your center? Now, this is true now. You know, when I was younger, I used to tell little white lies to the girls, but I'm being honest with you guys, okay? I think I might have had once in 20 years where a guy comes in here and throws the ball to the post when everybody's getting to the level of the ball. See, if he's driving, the post steps out because the other guy can't get there, he doesn't need to get there, and everybody else sinks to the level of the ball, I don't get hurt in the post. Now, I was reluctant when a guy named Fred Lissenberger I hired, and he would just own me by not putting ourselves in a position where we had to rotate from the wing to seal that baseline. And he convinced me just to have the post step out and everybody else get to the level of the ball. With your hands up, they're having a hard time finding people inside. Somebody had a question up there? Yes, sir. Speak up now. Come on now. Excuse me? I want to switch everything. I want to switch to picking all ball screen. Now, this past season, I lost 5 of my top 9 players. We might have been the worst defensive team I ever had. I had a 7'4" guy who could, but he just wouldn't contain the dribble. And that was a problem. So I had to, what we call it a blue, where we had to level off and fight and get over the screen. And we've done that over the years, and it was fairly effective. But I like to switch all screens. This year, I'm probably going to be 6'9". In the post, I'm not going to be 7'1", 7'2" like I normally am. I'm going to have all probably 6'9" guys, but they're quick enough to contain the dribble, and they're athletic enough to catch the lob and the seals with 2 feet in the paint. So I feel more comfortable that we're going to be able to switch 1 through 5 and be successful. Now, if you notice, everything we're doing up there doesn't have anything to do with quickness, speed, and athleticism. It has something to do with being sound fundamentally and making sure everybody gets to their spots. That's why I go back to our grading system. I go back to the things that the station drills, the shell drills, and your level of communication with the guys to make sure they understand that all these fundamental things is necessary for you to do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So what are the most important qualities looking for
in recruiting? Well, for me, I love them long athletic guards. I mean, sometimes I don't have anybody on my team under 6'4". And they don't necessarily have to be all great players. Devin Vassell's the leading scorer for San Antonio. We beat Presbyterian for him. Fiondu Kabengele, drafted first round by Clippers. No, he was drafted by New York, and they traded him to the Clippers. We had to redshirt him as a freshman. He wasn't a great player. He had to lose weight and everything. But in our system, offensively and defensively, we challenged them and we get a chance to show their skills enough where they can be effective. We haven't always had great players. Like Trent Forrest, he was a non-drafted player. You know, he didn't make it McDonald All-American, neither did Terrence Mann. But when you put them in a situation offensively and defensively, our offense complements our defense. Yes, sir. No, it's too cumbersome. It's too detailed to have to do that every day in practice. We did it. We tried to do it when I was at Austin P, where I first started doing it. And if anybody remembers Mr. Kelly's OER-DER, anybody remember that? Gosh. Y'all really tell him how old I am. Mr. Kelly from Ohio, he had what you call an offensive efficiency rating system and a defensive efficiency rating system. And he had a way, before the three-point shot came in, that he was dissecting all of these. That's when I got started with that when I was at Oklahoma State. It was so efficient. I mean, he gave you all the tendencies of your opponents. We played against, I think it was Virginia Commonwealth. When I first got to Oklahoma State, I didn't know anything about no system like that. You know, I had never heard of it. We were so talented at Kentucky, you know, we just go sick them. But I didn't have the luxury of doing that. And so we had this one game, the guy was averaging 20 points a game, and the guard brought the ball down the right side of the floor 75% of the time, and he threw it to the block. And the guy scored, probably 75% of his buckets on this side. Well, we didn't do all that at Kentucky. We just lined up and played because we had great players. So we took the right hand away from the point guard and made him go down the left side of the floor. We dead fronted the guy on the side. We win by 20. They nationally ranked, and I just took the job only because we took them away from what they've been accustomed to doing. So those statistics matter in game preparation more than anything else. Giving your players the tendencies of what the people do. And some of you who can afford, what is it, what's that system Coach Smith like to use? KenPom, and then we use what? What else we use? Yeah, see, I just work there. I don't know all these things. Synergy, they give you those statistics, and I don't think is Synergy very expensive? It is? How much is it? Come on, just tell me, how much is it, man? Come on.
For us, around $20,000.
That wasn't a smart suggestion, was it? But that system that we use, it's easy to come up with a system that represents what you believe in and what you want to do. Okay? Go ahead. Go ahead till you finish up on this. Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, he asked me, we pick up 94 feet. Do we call man? We have about 4 or 5 different calls that we make. 54 on, which is 54, on. 4 means 94 feet. We got a guy on the ball with the guy taking the ball out of bounds. If we say 54 off, which we do with people who are trying to run offenses, we let him throw the ball in. Sometimes we'll double the point guard, and sometimes we throw it in. We just want to be sitting here to make sure he has to take time coming down the court.
So is that his man or is that just random people you put right there?
No, we have what we call a bandit. He's the guy, the pickup guy. The wolf is the guy who gives the support. The safety gets back in the hole. Now, okay, hold on. Yeah, everybody has a spot. Yeah. Now, this is not always going to work perfect. You want it to. If you got 70, 80% of the time, you're in good shape. But see, like our safety has gone, his job is to sprint back and get into the hole and be traffic cop. But the post guy got to be sprinting to relieve him, and we try to get him to go out on the ball side. We come out on the break, we tell our guys to cross the court. Most people, when they're on the break, they stay on one side. If we start on this side, we want to get to the opposite elbow in transition. We want the defense to have to make that shift from an offensive standpoint. But most people come down the strong side, so if the guy is pushing him out, he's down to catch when the guy kicks it up. It doesn't always work that way, but if everybody alert and everybody know what they're supposed to be doing, then most of the time those guys can make up for it. Somebody had another question up here somewhere? Oh, but did I answer your question? Somebody else? Yes, ma'am.
Can you clarify what the glass man does? What the glass man does?
Glass man does.
What does the glass man do?
Yeah. Him up there.
Oh.
Glass man.
Oh, he normally goes to the weak side.
Okay, so is he just mirroring what the other side's doing?
Right. The rule is we try to get him to the weak side because we want the postman to push out the safety quick enough where he's out, and most of the time he's going to the weak side. See, I just don't like our guys just getting back on defense without any purpose. You know, now they got a purpose, and when something messes up, they can option out of it. They can talk and communicate out of it. But so I want them to have some discipline in what they're supposed to be doing when they come across half court. Yes, sir.
The safety is supposed to be in the hole until the big man pushes him out?
Yes, but we try to get it to the point where, let's say I'm in the hole and a guy is here and I see the post guy sprinting and the ball's not in a position where I might can leave a little early. Yeah, now, it's a good question. I'm making this other point. In our offensive system, we tell our postman he got 4 seconds if he don't get a rebound to get to the halo. In other words, we'll say, if you don't get a rebound, you got 4 seconds to get in front of that rim. Now, we do that because most people don't do that. Most people got all this other stuff going on. It's amazing to me how many times we'll push the ball out of the court and just throw it right to the post, right out of transition, with him running to the front of the rim every time. Now, if he gets a rebound, he sets a drag screen. He's always setting a drag screen, or we reverse it, and he goes sets a dribble handoff or a ball screen. Love talk about offense. I don't have that much time. But defensively, because we know most people, even when you have a guard back in the hole as a safety, I got my 7-footer posting up on your guard, which means now your other big man has to go relieve pressure, and I got a guard shooting a standing wide open uncontested three, because now I got 2 guys guarding 1 guy if the post guy runs fast and get down the court. In the game at Virginia Tech, Devin Vassell hit 7 straight threes. Didn't miss any because he was always shooting. He was shooting 42%, but he was shooting wide open uncontested threes because my post guy was running down, locking up that big guy trying to go relieve pressure, and he's wide open. Somebody else? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, but he asked me, does the Wolf have freedom to trap? Well, one reason we don't do a lot of trapping, because I don't want to be giving up threes on the other end. Now, however, those people who try to run sets and plays all the time, I don't have a problem trapping because that coach wants to come down and run all that cute stuff that they do. So it kind of, we kind of scout it. And once we played against Carolina, I took 3 guys off the boards because they was pushing that ball so fast. So I had a guy at the top of the key and 2 guys at the wing, and they pushing down there, they had nowhere to go. We ended up winning the game, but I could not hang around down here at all. Those guys was getting that thing and pushing it down our throat. And so when they pushed it down, they see a guy at the top of the key and 2 guys on the elbow saying, okay, then where you going now? Okay, so sometimes you got to make those adjustments. Yes, sir.
What's your philosophy as far as containing the dribble? Are you sending it middle, no baseline?
He asked, what's my philosophy of containing the dribble? A lot of it has to do with your skill set. But most guys now who ran the point guard, they're pretty good going either way. What I want to do with you, I just don't want you to have a free look. Okay? You coming down the court, I'm here, and when you raise that ball up, all I'm doing is this. See, I want to have a cushion. I don't want to be up on you where you can roll by me. I'm gonna give you enough, and I like to turn you 3 times. That's dangerous. But so if my head's on the ball, you know, you weaving and bobbing, but you also wearing yourself down, because you're gonna play 32, 33 minutes. The guy guard, you're gonna play 26. So I just want to contain you where you can't come down and throw that ball that guy coming off a down screen or a curl cut or a baseline. Okay? Somebody else, I saw a hand. Okay, go ahead, Rob. But I need you to ask me whatever. Okay. So hold it right there. Now when he caught that ball, let's see. Stop it when he closes out with his hands up. Okay, now his hands are up. The guy who's fronting the post, and that's a guard in the center, he's got pushed out all the way out there. But now, the guy who's guarding the guy on the low baseline, he should be on the midline. But it's not going to be perfect, even though you got a big guy pushing my guy in the back, his hands going up didn't let him catch it and throw it. Just that subtle. That doesn't have anything, actually what I'm saying, doesn't have anything to do with quickness and speed, and that has something to do with you closing out. And I don't even know if that guy can dunk the ball. But he's executing the fundamentals. Go ahead. It's a fist fight in the post now. They're trying to throw it to the post, and it's a cross screen. We didn't switch that. Back cut. Stop right there. Now, when guys are driving to the basket, last 6, 7 years, we reach in there and grab the ball with 2 hands. We find that when you start reaching down and reaching up, you get a whole lot of fouls called on you. So if that guy's dribbling in that gap and you just reach out and grab it with 2 hands, like what happened here, run that back, Rob. I don't know how we get away with it. A guy's just not conscious, but we've been consistent with that over the last number of years. Run that back. That was an unbelievable stunt right here from the guy. Who is that, Rob? Who? Yeah, see, he's quick. See, watch him stunt, makes him pick the dribble up, and he's right back closing the ball. Stop right there. That's what I was saying is, you can do that, but you can't do that unless you are moving on the ball. That's a perfect example of what I was talking about. He helped on the drive to discourage from driving, and also was on his horse, got back out and contest the ball. Now, that's good defense there. You know, I get excited when I see that. Go ahead. Run that back, run that back. That was a poor closeout. Now, we haven't talked about that very much. Same old thing, go halfway, sit down, chop your feet. He ran at that guy so hard, down low, up high, but hands being high makes a huge difference. Now, we have switched a guard off on that 16 guy. Run that back. Stop it when he starts with you watch, is that Devin? Who is that on the baseline? Watch his right hand go up farther, they can't shoot it. That hand going up, and a 16 guy is locking up my guard, locking up my guard, but because he has to throw the ball so high, that's why it's so important that you use your hand run that back from the beginning, please. That's Luke Locke's guarding the ball, right? Now, Luke is he was an all-state quarterback. He's not the quickest, fastest guy in the world. But I want you to see, I always tell them, if you go 1, 2, 3 on your slides as fast as you can move faster than the guy with the ball. 1, 2, 3 right, 1, 2, 3 left, you normally can contain the dribble. But I want you to see, he's down in a stance, and he okay, we're in the post, front of the post. Stop right there. You know, I've had guys say, well, how far out do you want me to front? And I used to try to tell my guys, well, 2 steps outside the lane. In other words, he's supposed to be looking down saying, this is 1 or 2 steps. And he in the war, and I said, hey, this fronted. You know what I mean? I'll live with him being too far out there than I will him being behind and guarding the guy letting the ball come in the post. We don't want the ball to go in the red zone. And the statistical analysis will tell you, from our standpoint, if, y'all see how cool I walk? Anyway, if you can keep the ball out of this area to the short corner, to the short corner there, your defense percentages go just where you want it to go. Am I running out of time? I haven't run over, have I? I have? Huh? Are you serious? 5 minutes? Well, those guys were taking pictures. I need my minutes back. Okay, I'm going to close this. I got a lot more stuff I would love to go over with you. I didn't want to run a whole lot of drills. I just wanted to talk to you about philosophies and let you know that if you buy in to whatever, if the kids buy into whatever philosophy you have and you teach it consistently and it become habits, I think you'll be a lot more happier. You'll be happier with your outcome and and then that level of communication. I would love for you guys that once y'all get that book and read it on the drama of a gifted child, I'd love for you guys to contact me and let me know what y'all think. It's really, really helped me understand how to communicate better with my players. I'm sorry I ran over. I'm sorry I only covered about half of what I wanted to cover. Sometimes you get excited, man. You get to talk. I think that's what I did. All right. Any last questions? We're going to shut this down. Okay, one more right there. Well, he's the best on the ball defender because he's quick enough and athletic enough. Sometimes I have good players that don't quite have that lateral quickness and speed. And like, once again, I'm saying that because toughness is a talent. Playing hard is a talent. And you got to condense them, coach their minds more than they do their bodies. Okay? Thank y'all very much. Appreciate your attention.